Hello, good morning students. In the previous classes we have learnt about Maitland's mobilization, which is a part of manual therapy, and I have discussed certain more techniques which comes under manual therapy. Here comes the second technique of manual therapy, which is Mulligan technique of joint mobilization. We'll start with the topic. So Mulligan concept was given by Brian Mulligan, which was a novel concept in which there is simultaneous application of therapist who applies accessory mobilization techniques and the patient performs active movements. So basically in this technique, the therapist will apply a particular glide which is required for the condition, and the patient will simultaneously do the active movement which was painful initially. For instance, if the patient has painful abduction, the therapist will apply a certain glide. Simultaneously, the patient will perform abduction movement and repeat it. So that was the concept given by Brian Mulligan. So we'll start with it. So Brian Mulligan, he found out that if there is an injury in the joint or there is a sprain in the joint, what happens is once there's an injury or sprain, there are very subtle positional fault in the joint. He found that there is some dysfunction is caused due to an injury or a sprain, which restricts the physiological movement, which restricts the normal range of motion. So he proposed that when a muscle is tight or when there is injured, when there is ligament sprain or muscle strain, the joint position is altered. So that is known as malalignment of a joint or a positional fault in a joint, because of which the normal biomechanics is disrupted, because of which there is reduced range of motion. So this was his basic concept which gave rise to the Mulligan concept. In the recent researches, it has also been found that if you give a certain glide, which is a transverse glide, to the spinous process of the spine, that can also help in reducing pain in the peripheral joint dysfunction, which means that if you give a glide in the remote area, for example, if you give glide in the cervical area, he has found that patients with elbow pain or shoulder pain, they have been recovered. So when you give a remote glide also, a glide which is not given locally, which is away from the injured or the affected joint, if you give away from that also, he has found that that ailment has been corrected, that dysfunction has also been corrected. So the concept involves various techniques that we will talk later. There is one popular technique which he has proposed and given is mobilization with movement, which is commonly known as MWM. During this, the glide is given to the particular joint and the patient does active physiological movements. That active movement which is painful for the patient, he does that simultaneously. So this was known as MWM. There are some other techniques which are also very popular, like nags and snags. It is very unique to his concept. We learned in Maitland's mobilization that all techniques should be given in a relaxed position, probably in a supine lying position, because that is the most relaxed position, where the patient is lying and relaxing and there's a passive glide given by the therapist. But in Mulligan's concept, he has given techniques in weight bearing position also. That includes in standing, sitting. not only in lying down. So he has given concept of giving mobilization glide in weight bearing position. So this is a very unique concept when we compare with Maitland's concept. Difference between the two is Maitland is given in non-weight bearing position and Mulligan is given in weight bearing position. Please do remember this concept. The next is the mobilization is given parallel to the spinal facet planes. The next point is the passive oscillatory mobilization techniques are given in the form of nags and snags. These techniques are very unique and given for the spinal areas. In detail, we will read in the upcoming slides and module. So the basic techniques involved in Mulligan are nags, which is known as natural epiphyseal glides, snags, sustained natural epiphyseal glides, MWM, mobilization with movement, SMWLMS is spinal mobilization with limb movement. So these are the basic techniques and names of the techniques given by Mulligan. There is something very unique about the Mulligan's concept that when you're giving the glide should be pain-free, which means that Mulligan's technique is indicated when while giving the glide, the patient does not feel pain at all. So that is why it's known as pain-free. The second concept is the Mulligan's glide should be given when you are suspecting a positional fault or in a condition which is caused because of a positional fault or tracking issues. Positional faults are subtle biomechanical issues or subluxation. This is articular subluxation, malalignment, which can inhibit the range of motion, which can reduce the range of motion, which can cause the pathomechanics in a joint. So whenever there is a positional fault, if the glide is pain-free, then the Mulligan technique is indicated and the patient will recover miraculously. The third concept of Mulligan's is he focused on repetitions. So if a glide works, you need to give in number of repetitions along with the active movements done by the patient. So there are doses which you have to follow while giving Mulligan glides. Only once or twice giving the glide and doing active motion will not help in this concept. We need to do repeatedly, minimum 10 times repetition in following number of sets. Then there is also a concept of treatment planes in Mulligan concept. There are various types of planes. According to the joint and plane, you have to give Mulligan's glide. So we will talk about this in detail in the consequent slides. Now talking in detail about the first concept, which is pain-free. Now what it means? It means that when you have decided to give Mulligan's technique, and when you start applying the technique, it should not reproduce the pain symptoms of the patient. Which means if a patient has come to you with abduction, shoulder abduction pain and a certain glide which you have planned to give on the patient, while giving the glide, there should not be same pain or same symptoms for which the patient had come to you. Mild pressure or palpation discomfort may be experienced upon application of technique, which is normal, which is fine. But symptoms for which the patient has consulted the therapist must not be reproduced by the movement. So I hope this is clear. This is very unique about this concept. Maitland's is not like that. Maitland's has certain grades. If you want to reduce pain, you give grade 1 and grade 2. If you want to increase range of motion, you have to give grade 3 and grade 4. But for Mulligan's concept, whether you want to reduce pain or increase range of motion, while giving the technique, there should not be any reproduction of the symptoms at all. So only then the glide and the technique is indicated in so and so patient. So that's about pain-free concept. Now coming to the second concept of Mulligan's, which is positional faults or tracking problems. Now I have told about this in the previous slides, that imagine a joint in which a normal joint has a good articulation. It's articulated well. But what if the two articulating surfaces are slightly shifted? They are in contact, they are in contact actually, but then it's little bit shifted. The joint surfaces are not in complete contact. They are slightly malaligned. They are slightly dysfunctional. So because of which there will be biomechanical issues, there will be tracking issues. If you have a normal articulated joint, your range of motion will be complete and there won't be any pain. But if you have a malaligned joint, or if you have a tracking issue or positional fault is there, definitely there won't be a smooth and complete range of motion and there will be provocation of pain symptoms. So he has said that symptoms which results from joints with subtly malaligned biomechanics or tracking issues, that is known as positional fault. These symptoms can be eliminated by equally subtle repositioning techniques, that is, they assist in restoration of biomechanical normality. So which means that while giving a particular correct glide, you can retrack the issues, you can correct the malalignment, or you can correct these positional faults, thereby correcting the biomechanical faults and thereby reducing the pain and increasing the range of motion. So this is also a very unique concept about Mulligan's. This concept is not followed in Maitland's. The normal joint will follow a normal track, we all know that, through any particular normal movement. Any anomalies in coordination of the sequential elements of the movement pattern will be signaled by the CNS, which will inhibit the inappropriate movement by pain, stiffness or weakness. So if there is malalignment or positional fault, the CNS will send signals to stop that uncoordinated movement and thereby causing pain and stiffness or weakness. CNS somehow wants to stop this wrong movement. So how will it stop? Is only by generating pain, stiffness and weakness. Okay. Thus, the therapist is guided as to what is normal movement by a symptom-free status. So once you correct this malalignment, you can see immediate reduction in pain and immediate improvement and range of motion. So that was about the positional fault concept. Now coming to the third concept, which is repetition. So symptom-free repetitions of movement and mobilization is ultimately to seduce the CNS to re-establish dynamic neutral. So when you do repetitions, you will be reducing the ailment a lot. You will be reducing pain a lot. You will be correcting it further. So repetition is a key to Mulligan's concept. You need to repeat at least 10 times in 3 sets and you will see a lot of change in a patient. Now, coming to the fourth concept, which is treatment plane. So we know that the plane and axis changes according to the type of joint. So there are variety of joints in our body like hinge joint, parallel joints, spinal facet planes. So each joints, if you want to apply a technique on different joints, you need to change the treatment plane. So for instance, if it's a hinge joint, which is your elbow or knee joint, so the bone lies end to end and articulate in the sagittal plane. We know that hinge joint can do two range of motion, which is flexion and extension, which happens in the sagittal plane. So the accessory force of the mobilization should be applied at the right angles to the movement taking place. So in a hinge joint such as knee or elbow, your glide should be applied at the right angles to that of the movement. So 90° to flexion or 90° to extension. In that manner, you have to apply the glide for a hinge joint. Coming to parallel joints, such as radius and ulna, joint formed between the radius and ulna, like superior and distal, proximal and distal radioulnar joint. So here bones lie side by side and their articulation is characterized by alteration in that parallel relationship. One pair is stabilized and the other would be repositioned upward or downward as the patient performs active movement, which means that this concept is for parallel bones. You stabilize one bone. For example, if you are stabilizing radius and you want to mobilize ulna, you will stabilize with one palm the radius of the patient, and with your other palm you will reposition the ulna by doing upward and downward movements. Just try to visualize and imagine that you have stabilized with one palm the radius of the patient, and with the other palm you are taking ulna up and down in repetitions, and simultaneously the patient will do active movement. Now every time I'm talking about active movement, what is that active movement actually? It is the painful movement patient will do, which means that if a patient has pain in flexion and extension or flexion alone, he will repeat the same movement again and again. So that is what active movement means in Mulligan's concept. The same painful movement patient should repeat while the therapist will give glides. Okay, I hope this is clear. This was about parallel joints. So we have covered hinge, we have covered parallel joints. Now coming to spinal facet planes. Now spine, cervical, then you have thoracic, you have lumbar, sacrum. Then if you read the concept, the facet joints or the facet planes are positioned in different angles at different regions. That means for cervical it is different, for thoracic it is different, for lumbar it is different. So according to which spinal region you are mobilizing, your glide will change. So angle of spinal facet plane vary from region to region, and therefore the angle of accessory mobilization must correspond with them. So depending on what region you are treating, your glide direction will change. So the treatment in detail we will discuss in the next module. So this was about the basics of Mulligan's concept. So let us now summarize what we have read in this module. We learned that Mulligan's concept is a new concept. Maitland's was much older concept, but very well practiced. So Mulligan was given by Brian Mulligan. He was from New Zealand. It's a unique technique given by him where he found that in ankle sprains or in any kind of sprain or strain, there can be subtle biomechanical issues, positional faults, tracking issues or malalignment, because of which there is restricted range of motion, there is biomechanical issues, and there is symptoms like pain. So he gave 4 techniques, unique techniques. One is SNAGS, Sustained Natural Epiphyseal Glides, NAGS, and NWM and LMWM. He gave 4 types of techniques for various regions that we will discuss in the next module. His basic concept is that while giving the glide, if indicated, it should be pain-free. Second thing is, the patient should simultaneously do the same movement which was painful for the patient. Third point is, the techniques are given in weight-bearing position. Unlike Maitland, in Maitland the patient is almost always in supine position. In Mulligan's it's given in weight-bearing position. Mulligan is accompanied by glide plus active movement. However, Maitland is only glide and no active movement by the patient. Then you have concept of positional tracks, positional faults and tracking issues, where he has found that if you correct these positional faults and tracking issues by your glides, you can help in correcting the range of motion and thereby reducing the pain. The following concept is, this correction of positional faults or tracking issues should be done in repetitions. You cannot just give for few repetitions or once or twice and can be sure that the patient is alright. You need to give the technique in many repetitions to finally get the gain out of the technique. Then you have the concept of treatment planes. For every plane or for every different joint, the plane changes. So according to the joint, according to the plane, we need to give the glides. For example, if it's a hinge joint, the treatment should be given perpendicular to the movement. Hinge joint is knee joint and elbow joint. Then you have plane joints, and then you have spinal facets. Spinal facet is different because in spine, the spinal facets in different regions are placed at different angles. So according to the region and angles, you need to change the glide. So that's the concept about Mulligan, and this is a basic and introductory class. Do go through the PPT properly, and if any doubts, I'm there to clarify. In the next module, we will read about the treatment in detail and in detail about every technique of Mulligan's. I hope the concept was clear. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.